So today we will cover SonarQube section. So you all know that why we use SonarQube, right? For our CI/CD pipeline. To create a end-to-end CI/CD pipeline, we need to integrate different types of tools with our CI/CD tool. I mean, here we can make Jenkins, okay, as a CI/CD tool. So we need to integrate some other tools for our needs. For example, today we are discussing SonarQube, right? So why we use SonarQube? SonarQube is for we are using SonarQube for static code analysis and code check, code smell check, vulnerability checks, and yeah, code reviews. And so many code checks we can done with the SonarQube. Okay, SonarQube is a open source application, and we can directly install SonarQube in our machine or in Docker or anywhere. In infrastructure, we can deploy SonarQube. And SonarQube have one more thing. It's have a database. Okay, I mean there is two segment. Okay, consider this is our machine where we install SonarQube. Okay. For real scenario, we can take up a machine and install SonarQube, or we can install in a single machine where the Jenkins belongs. We can set up a SonarQube inside the Jenkins machine, or any machine we can deploy. As per the requirement, we can deploy anywhere. So this is our virtual machine. Consider this is our virtual machine. Okay. So inside the machine, we can directly install SonarQube. And SonarQube need one database, DB. Database. For what purpose SonarQube needs database? Because SonarQube purpose, I mean, the SonarQube done the code check, right? So we need to store the data in the SonarQube database, and SonarQubes have some rules. Okay, so it will filter out with the rule. For example, some predefined rules are there, or some latest rules. Okay, rules inside SonarQube there is a rule. So as per the rule, it will. I mean, yeah. For example, this is Jenkins. Okay, this is a Jenkins server. So, and this is a Git, and we integrate all things. Okay, this is Git, and this is Jenkins. So first we need to getting the code from GitHub, right, to the Jenkins. So the codes are in Jenkins. Okay. So Jenkins will build the code, and the next stage we provided in the Jenkins is check with the SonarQube. So you can directly send the code to SonarQube. So this is a, for example, this is a Python based code, okay, Python code. So in under the rules, there is a category for the Python, okay. I mean, in that rule system, there is latest bugs, I mean, latest templates there for troubleshoot the code, I mean, to how we can say, like, yeah, it will check you using the rules, okay, for the Python rules. So inside the Python rule, latest bugs and all things are defined in the rules in SonarQube. So it will sort out with, I mean, it will filter out with the rules. So if any bugs in the coming Python code, I mean, this code, if anything, I mean, inserted any bug or vulnerabilities or anything, code smell or anything, the rule will filter out that things, and we will get a feedback from the SonarQube that the line 68 or the line 100 or any line that have some issue with the line. So we need to clear that thing. So it will send back the result to the Jenkins, so we can sort it out. And if any issue there, we again send back to the developers. This is a simple workflow of SonarQube and the Jenkins. Got it? Anyone? Clear, right? Okay. So two way we can, I mean, set up SonarQube. One is, again, please. I mean, which portion, Andrew?
Sorry, I thought you were asking question. So sorry.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, we can two-way create SonarQube. One is for the test purpose, okay, or learning purpose. We can directly install SonarQube. Okay, it's a easy process. But in that case, we didn't configure or we didn't attach any database for the SonarQube. But coming to production, test purpose.
I have a question. So SonarQube have a database. So do we have any UI interface to analyze these bugs or codes from the SonarQube?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So test purpose, we can directly install or configure SonarQube. Coming to production, we need to ensure it have a database. It's like MySQL or PSQL, any database, okay. Postgres, anything. And we couple up with the database to the application, I mean the SonarQube. Because sometimes
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, like SonarQube, but database. Can you give me more explanation on it, please?
Yes, yes. So coming to production, okay, there is so many projects are there. Okay, so we need to scale up our database so that only we need to attach the database. Okay, for this case, if we set up the without database in the production, we couldn't scale our database because there is no database, but a small size embedded database are there. I mean, it's in the test. I mean, directly if we install data SonarQube, there's a embedded database are there. Okay, embedded, but we couldn't scale the database. Keep it there, but can't scale. I mean, the database scaling. Okay, because if the database is exceed the the memory, then we couldn't scale up. Here we are using a database for our SonarQube. So anytime we can scale up and scale down, no issue. As per the requirement or the project, maybe some huge projects are there, then we can scale up our database. Then, yeah, it's open source that I told you. SonarQube is open source, like Jenkins, open source.
So for production, we install as a two different components, right? For as a database component and a SonarQube component.
Yes, yes.
But for test purpose, it's as a single component.
Yes, because in test we, for example, we need to deploy a single application or 1 or 3 or like in between 1 to 3 or 1 to 5. That's all for the learning purpose or test purpose. So in that case, only that much of projects are there. Coming to real world or the production, there is multiple projects. Like as per the company requirement, there is so many projects, like 50 projects, 100 projects, 1,000 projects. Got it. So
Right.
each of the project we need to check the code analysis, right? Using SonarQube. So there is huge data are there in the SonarQube. I mean, the database also. So the database is coming, I mean, exhausted sometimes. So we need to scale up the database.
Okay. Right.
Yeah. And in CI/CD, SonarQube plays a crucial role. We can consider this is a part of DevSecOps. Okay, I mean DevSecOps. What is DevSecOps? Is another life cycle. We in that life cycle we include and we concentrate more part in the security aspects. Here, what is security? What check is our security, right? If any vulnerabilities in our code, it's make a security breach, right? I mean, the hackers can easily access our systems or our application. So the first barrier is clear up our code. Got it? Ensure there is no bugs are detected in our code. I mean, any code smells, any vulnerability rules, And yep, so many things inside each lines of codes, but yep. And coming to the rules, these are the common rules in SonarQube. Rules in SonarQube. Okay. Actually, it's a set of coding rules and guidelines to analyze code and detect issues related to code quality, maintainability, and security. Okay. And the rules are organized into various categories, like user can configure each rules according to our projects, okay, projects needs. And some of the common rules are bug detect, detection rule. This is a rule identify the code that is, likely to cause runtime errors or crashes or any unexpected behavior like that. For example, as a developer, okay, in the perspective of a developer, some null pointer or dereference or any resource leaks, they may accidentally or inside in the code, it will automatically remove using the bug detection tool. And number 2 is code smell rule. This is one of the important things, code smell. Coming to code smell, it's a pattern or a practice that might not be technically incorrect, but we can make the code harder to maintain or understand. Example include long method or these all the things. In the code part, all the things are related to the development part. Okay. For example, some excessive complexity codes or unused variables, and so many things considering. When checking the code smell. And the fun part is the SonarQube will automatically analyze and it will send back the feedback to, not the feedback, the result, okay, the scanning result to the, not directly to the, the dev part. For the infra team, we will get the output in the same Jenkins console. And the third one is vulnerability rule. This is another thing, okay, like code smell. So the SonarQube can detect security vulnerabilities in the code. Okay, for example, so many vulnerabilities are there, like how we can say, for example, any loophole or any backdoor after the deployment of the, if any backdoors or loophole in the code, the hackers or the attackers easily gain access application, okay, through the vulnerabilities, because there is some payloads, okay, like a backdoor, okay. For example, the hackers gain access through the backdoor of our application. Like such as potential injection attack, authentication issues, or weak encryption algorithm. So many terms are there under the vulnerability rules. rule. We can add the custom rule as well, okay. We can define our own custom rules based on the project specific requirement or code standing. These are the customization rule we can create as per the project, okay. So these all the things keep in mind. Because an interview, when you're facing interviewer asking what are the rules you are familiar with the SonarQube. So we can easily discuss these things. Got it? Anyone have any doubt or confusion? Okay.
So, Shimi, if they ask you to give an explanation of those rules, like if you can give a little bit explanation again on those rules.
Means bug detection, code smell, vulnerabilities, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Bug detection rule, okay. Bug detection rule is one of the rule in SonarQube, okay. These rules identify code that is likely to cause runtime error or crashes or some unexpected behavior. Got it? For example, the codes include some null pointers or dereference or any resource leak. So these are the things under the bug detection rule. I mean, it will clear out the thing. What are the things? Null pointer, resource leak, or anything like that. Then coming to code smell. Code smells are a pattern, or a practice that might not be technically incorrect, but can make the code harder to maintain or understand. For example, long method. Inside the code, it includes some long method or excessive complexity or unused variables. These are the things the SonarQube will sort it out. Then coming to vulnerability rule, it can detect security vulnerabilities in the code, okay. It's a common thing. Vulnerabilities are a common thing in each code. So it will detect security vulnerabilities and such as potential injection attack, okay, or authentication issue or weak encryption algorithm. These are the things under the vulnerability. So these are the things maybe or might be included in our code. Consider like, so the SonarQube will sort it out. Remove all the things. If any injection attacks in our code, it will sort it out the SonarQube. So coming to custom rule, we can customize the rule as per the requirement. For example, it's for a specified application. So the developers, these are, or we can sort it out from the some source, or the developer will ask to us that, or they will send the rules. So we just add it in the SonarQube for analyzing part. Got it? If we have much familiar in the development, the coding parts, we will get more idea what are things. What is variables or each terms, I mean, some tech developers terms there, right? And as a DevOps engineer, our part is configuring the SonarQube and integrate the SonarQube with the Jenkins. Okay, that's all our part. And yeah, most probably these are our part. And when the pipeline start, all things are do their own job, because we mentioned all the things in the Jenkins pipeline. So the Jenkins pipelines will do their job. If any error happening, I mean, when checking the code, we will get the feedback. That's all, and we will get the extra code error as well. So we can just send the full output to the developer that the code, this line of the code have these types of issues. We need to clear and sort it out. That's our part. So we can directly jump into the installation part. Okay. So here I am taking a machine. I will install with the two way. Okay, one is a normal way, I mean, for the test purpose, and coming to production. And if we are running production, some I mean system prerequisite are there. 4 GB RAM is ensure that the machine have 4 GB RAM. Okay, the SonarQube is a quite big application. I mean, the database also. So I am going to change the machine type. Okay, these are the machine types, right? Sometimes the question may, I mean, interviewer ask which families you are familiar with. So here, these are the families. Okay, T family, C family, like that. As per the requirement, we are going to choose our machine. So I am going with the medium. So I got 4 GB RAM. You see, 4 GB memory. That's 4 GB RAM. And there is 2 virtual CPU. I mean the core. That's enough for our lab. And going to choose the existing key pair. Under network part, I'm choosing my corresponding VPC. That's VPC client. And subnet is I need that as a public IP, so I am enable the public IP. Under security, okay, I need to enable the default port for the SonarQube is 9000. So we need to enable the custom TCP and the port as 9000. First type anywhere. And don't make these security cubes in real, I mean, in production. Okay, in production environment, we need to ensure these all things, because these are under the security parts. Okay, each ports we are enabling is all under security parts. For example, in this case, I am in a the source type is anywhere. So what this means? This is my rule. I mean, the security rule for the SonarQube. So what it means? Anyone? The type, the protocol, the port range, source type. Are you following, right? Yes.
TCP has a long range.
Sorry?
TCP has a very long range. It can go all the way to 65,000 something.
I mean, this configuration means what? I configured TCP, custom TCP, then the protocol is TCP, and the port range is 9000. First step is anywhere. I mean, these are make something, right? So,
Is it Jenkins port?
no, SonarQube.
SonarQube. Okay, okay. 9000 is for SonarQube. Okay.
This I here choose the source type path anywhere. So anyone in the internet or anyone have internet access to this application using the port with the IP. So coming to production environment, we didn't expose our confidential application or like SonarQube Jenkins to the. We didn't expose these things to the public, right?
Add a security group to connect to it, and also we may include only a domain DNS server or something. Only through that we'll try to connect.
We can choose different methods. We learned the bash nodes, right?
We can use NACLs also.
Yes, NACL, we can use NACL or we can use bash done, or so many options are there. Or we can add these host IPs with the DNS pointed to the DNS and using SSL to ensure, I mean, to encrypt our this application using the certificate, SSL certificate, and so many way we can hardening these types of access issues. And make sure these are the things we can make sure, because coming to real world, okay, we are not mention this as anywhere. We just go to the custom and provide the IPs here or my IP or anything like that. Got
I
it?
have a question.
Yes.
So now security group is there and also NACL is there. So when we are configuring both the security group and NACLs, how to configure this? There I have a confusion. Like now here it is anywhere. If we are having NACL also, how to configure both of them?
I think I will take a small section on the NAC. Okay. For now, I will give you a brief idea.
Sure, thank you.
Okay. This is our subnet. This is our subnet, and inside the subnet, we have one virtual machine. And where the NACL plays role is the subnet level. In front of subnet level, we need to configure NACL. Okay. And in front of, the security group, we directly configure with the each virtual machine. Security group, under the security group is based with the virtual machine directly. Okay, got it. So if we go with the NACL, it's based on the network, the subnet. Okay. Here we can add the IPs. We are mostly with the IP ranges. Okay. So which IPs are accessing our machine or the subnet, we can sort it and figure it out, and we can whitelist IP and blacklist IP. So many things we can do with the NACL. Okay. And make sure the NACL is behind the subnet, right? So it's mostly work with the IP ranges. And coming to security groups, it's with the this security groups with the virtual machine. I mean, for example, here we were most work with the pods. Right. We are enabling pods and the protocols and disable pods, enable pods, and adding some IPs to the pods. That's all the things we are done with the security groups. It's I mean tie up with the security group is tie up with our virtual machine, and the NSA is tie up with the subnet. Got it. And after a small demo with the NSA, you will get more idea. Now you are clear. I mean, there is no issue with this security group. All are clear, right? Any doubt with the security group? Anyone?
So security groups are by default, everything is denied, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, we can just check like, just to go to this mission. Okay, I'm going to my, this is my mission, that is. I didn't create anything, right? Yeah.
One quick question, sir.
Yes.
At the end of the class, we are stopping the server, but should we terminate or should we stop? Stop is enough, right?
Terminate means it will remove all the things. We didn't charge anything. Okay. For the time we are using, it will make some small signs like that. After
Okay.
termination, it's make, I mean, it doesn't make any charges. Okay. If
What
we
about
stop, yeah,
Yeah.
if we stop, it will charge some small amount. Okay, like in sense, because we are engaged there on storage. Okay, for example, we buy one machine. We consider we buy a PC from a shop. Okay, and we are starting. I mean, we are logging. I mean, starting the computer. Okay, in our home. So it will take charge, right? I mean, the
Oh,
electricity
so
cost.
even
Yeah.
we stop, that means some server is run.
Yes, it will take charge when we stop the machine, because the underlying infrastructure or the storage, so many things we already engaged. I mean, all are there, but we just stop the machine, but all are allocated for us, right? So they will make some charges for the allocation.
So it will be huge difference or is nominal charges if we stop.
Last month, I just got an invoice from the Amazon, 49 cents.
Yes.
Yeah, I got the invoice from Amazon because I created some machines and I stopped. I didn't terminate. So when I saw, I got the email that I got. They charged me 49 cents.
Okay. Good to stop then, at least one or two will keep terminate.
And for example, if we didn't choose the free tier, okay, you can see the free tier. If we choose small or T3 medium, it will also charge, okay. These are not under the free tier version. So it will, you can see per hour this much cents they will charge, like 4 cents, 81 cents, not cents, right? 0.081 like per hour. Yeah, the machine is okay. Now I am going to do is installing SonarQube, okay, the easiest way without database. So I am choosing a machine, and how we easily install an application nowadays? Anyone? Much fast, reliable. With technology we are.
Yes.
Yes, with technology. The requirement is we need to set up an application very fast. Anyone?
.NET Core.
Sorry?
You are talking about the software technology, right?
No, I need to set up an application fast.
Okay.
Sorry?
PowerShell.
I mean deployment, not using any thing. My requirement, I have one AWS account. I have the machine. So the
We
requirement.
use
Yeah.
One is just to create a container.
Right. Docker. Docker is a technology that we need to set up the things faster, right? Docker. Just install Docker and pull the image and run the image. Very simple, right? Docker. Now Docker is installed, right? So Docker ps sudo docker ps.
We need to start Docker.
Fine. Now we can directly install using a single command like sudo docker what SonarQube. So there is a directory in Docker Hub that name called .SonarQube. So the Docker, sorry, I missed the full command. Pull. So the Docker pull will pulling the Docker image from the Docker Hub to our console. Docker image. So the SonarQube image is here. So we need to run, right? Detachable mode D and the port number 9000. Okay. For the container as well in the host and container same port. And we need to expose the port for the embedded database as well, because here I embedded database like 9092 like 9092. Then the name. What's the name? We need to provide a given name, like I'm given a same name SonarQube. And what other thing we need to enroll in this command? The image name, right? Give me a second, okay? Yeah, we need to first we need to given the name and we need to mention the image name. Image name here is SonarQube. So again, I am mentioning the SonarQube here. SonarQube. Hit enter. Yep, it's created the container. Docker ps sudo so the SonarQube container is up and running. Okay, we need to check the logs for what is the status of the container. So sudo docker logs. This is the way we are checking the logs. Okay, copy the container ID, paste it here, hit enter. Yeah, these are the logs. And here.
What is 9092?
That's for the database, embedded database port. Again, we need to mention one port, that's all.
So is it a particular database or just
Embedded.
Excuse me.
Sorry?
Can you go up all the way? We want to see the command one.
Once again.
We just want to make sure we have proper command. We use the command to run the Docker, right? Just want to see.
Your voice is breaking actually most of the time.
Can you please show the command that you ran to run the container from the image?
Yeah, this is the command.
Yeah. Okay.
Sudo docker run. Docker run is the command to run a Docker image. Okay, we have the Docker image. So we need to specify the detach mode. Detach mode is after running the run command, it will run in background. Okay, doesn't shows in the terminal. That's all. Then -p is for the port, and what are the ports? We need to mention two ports. One port for our host machine. Where our host machine is EC2 Linux machine. So in that machine, we need to express the port 9000. And the second after double colon, we again mention the port for port 9000. That's for the container port. Got it. And the same for we, write again for the port that for the embedded database 9092. And the name is the SonarQube. We given any name for SonarQube. Here we easily find the name. That's why I'm choosing the SonarQube. And the last in the SonarQube name is the image name. We need to specify which image we need to run. So that we specify the image name. That's all. Yeah, this is a given name. We have provided the names on our cube. And all things we can see here, the image is on our cube. Subpan running. So we just go to the terminal and verify. Copy the public IP. Okay. So I'm pasted here. It's the port number 9000. Oh, I didn't enable the port 9000. Go to security. Edit inbound role. Custom TCP. Anyone? Save. Okay. Yeah, this is our SonarQube dashboard. We are first entering the SonarQube user interface. By default, that username and password is admin. And after that, we need to change the default password. And update. So this is our SonarQube dashboard. Okay. So here you can see embedded database should be used for evaluation purpose only. So in this case, we are using embedded database. That's why it shows here. And the embedded database will not scale. It will not support upgrading to newer version of the SonarQube. And there is no support for migrating your data out of it into a different database engine. Got it. So this is mostly used for the test purpose. So here we can integrate all the things. There is administration, security. Under security, there's users, groups, global permission. Under projects, we can create projects. And these are the rules. Okay, we mentioned the rules, and these are the rules. These are the predefined rules, and we can use any rules as per the requirement. For example, I am just open a single rule. Yes, you just see, this is a non-compliant code, okay? This is the format, non-compliant, and the compliant solution is this. So everything is defined in the each rule. So when we are running any code based on the rule, it will automatically figure it out. I mean, sort it out the things, and we will get a feedback from SonarQube. Got it. For all applications, you can choose. These are the things in the rules and issues. This is the issue page for our application. So we didn't configure anything, that's why it's nothing here. And the project actually we didn't configure projects for any pipeline application. Here we create project and configure, integrate with the Jenkins and all things. And first we install the SonarQube, then we go to the Jenkins and install some plugins, SonarQube plugins, and there we need to add the SonarQube URL and report all things to authenticate with the SonarQube. Okay. So the Jenkins now there is a OS machine for SonarQube. And in the pipeline stage, we already mentioned all the things. Okay. Fine. Here we create tokens, okay. Authentication tokens. Like user token. And expiry, the token expiry date, we need to mention and generate. This is a token we are using for authenticating with the other application like Jenkins. We need to specify the this SonarQube token, okay. Any doubt?
What do you use the token for?
Yeah, Andrew. Hello?
Yeah, so what do you use the token for?
Token for authenticating. This is a unique token, okay? Unique token for this specified account. So we provide these tokens when we integrating SonarQube with Jenkins or any application, other application, we can use this specified token that we created here. This token we use in other application like in Jenkins, okay? It's like we can say, it's a authenticator. I mean, how we authorize our authorization with other application to the Jenkins SonarQube using the token and the IP as well, host IPs. Got it.
So do you install anything like plugins in SonarQube before you start, or only the token is important to connect other application?
Yeah, first we need to install the Sonar Scanner. That's a plugin inside the Jenkins. Okay, our requirement is to integrating Jenkins with the SonarQube. Yeah, there we need to provide the token, IPs of the SonarQube, token of the SonarQube. So many things we need to provide there.
Okay.
Yeah. And yep. These are the basic steps, okay, basic things that we are doing with SonarQube. Then the configuration part as well. I mean, with the Jenkins, it will integrate the thing and when the pipeline runs, it will automatically, I mean, the project or the issues, it will see, we can see there is a code is here. It will automatically fetch up the things, and it will automatically, I mean, SonarQube will check the codes, and we will get the results, like how many bugs are there, or how many code smells in the specified code. All things displayed in this issues dashboard. I mean, here. Got it?
Yes, but I didn't see Jenkins among the GitHub.
Sorry?
Did not see Jenkins here. When you click under the issue, I see GitHub, I see GitLab, Gitbucket, and everything.
Oh, yes, project.
But
Yeah.
I didn't see Jenkins here too.
You mean you didn't see Jenkins here?
Yeah.
Yeah, here we need to create a pipeline. I mean a project here. And here we need to specify the project details, project key, all things, and go to the next level.
Okay.
We will get, for example, next project design. Oh, okay. You see, this is Jenkins. You see the Jenkins?
Yes.
Yeah, like this way we configure the thing. Okay.
So do we need to provide this token to the integrated the third-party system, or it's not required? Like as RSA public and private key, we exchange the keys in Linux. Is it something we need to do, or it's just a token that you create on the SonarQube?
Yeah, we created a token in SonarQube that we did earlier, and we need to provide that token in integrating other third-party applications. Jenkins is also a third-party application, so there we need to mention that token under a secret. We concealed the token. Okay, we didn't expose the token, so we encrypt the token in Jenkins. Yeah.
Okay.
Another thing is SonarQube needs some event mechanism, right? If someone checks in code or Jenkins does a build, then only SonarQube need to start scanning, right?
Yes.
So how are we setting up?
In stage, we create a pipeline stage, okay, in Jenkins.
Okay,
So each stage, the Jenkins will execute step by step, okay. Part of stage we mentioned first, or the as per the priority, it will execute each stage.
Oh, the Jenkins project file will have those info.
Yes, for example, the first stage we provide getting the code from the GitHub. That's our first thing. That's the source code. So the Jenkins will getting the code, and it will the second stage the build process. The Jenkins builds the code, okay. Then the third stage maybe we need to send the code to the SonarQube for analyzing, like that.
So it means you'll do the setup in the future. Thank you.
Yeah. So quickly, I'm going to create a production level SonarQube. So before that, I'm going to delete the this container. Sudo docker remove. What's the container name? Now there is no container, right? Docker images. one image there. So Docker RMI, image, domain name is SonarQube. Need to mention, yeah, leave that image. For creating, now we are creating a multi-service, I mean multi-container in a, using Docker. Okay, we didn't start one topic. I mean, we missed one topic in the Docker part, that is called Docker Compose. Okay, so here I will include the Docker Compose. So we are deploying application using Docker two-way. One is creating a Docker file, and we customize our requirement in the Docker file, and we deploy that Docker file. I mean, we build the Docker file and run the Docker image, right? And sometimes we need to run multiple images. Okay, in our case, one of the example, because in this example, one is for application SonarQube, I mean one container, and the next container for the database, and the database will communicate with our SonarQube as well, right? There is a connection between the database and the SonarQube. Got it? So we can directly deploy these two services or these two containers with a single file using Docker Compose. Got it? That's why we are using the Docker Compose. So the Docker Compose, when we using Docker Compose, we need a YAML file. I mean the Docker YAML, not Docker. There's a YAML file. Inside the YAML file, we need to provide all the things for the containers, for the dependencies, and
Is it similar to the deployment or service? I mean,
yes, mostly it's similar. Like both are YAML, so it's most probably it's similar. Okay. So here, for that, we need to create a Docker file. And before that, we need to install the Docker Compose as well. Okay. So I'm going to install Docker Compose firstly. We need to scale up the package from the Docker Compose. So now we'll install the SonarQube, and we need to make the path. Okay, this is the path. I mean, user local bin, where this path, the Docker Compose. So we need to make it executable. Okay, using the chmod. Chmod, we adding what the executable. So the in this file, Docker Compose can execute. Now checking the version. 2.21. Now we have one compose file. Okay. So using nano docker compose .yaml. Hit enter and copy the thing. I mean the content. Yep. Before that, we need to do one more thing. Before that, we need to go one system directory. I mean one system file. That for systemctl config. That's a configuration file of Linux kernel system. And yep, go to there. And we need to add this thing. Okay. And go to the bottom of the file. Insert. Paste it here. Make sure we remove the flash. Okay. This means maximum memory count. Okay. For this is a maximum memory count we need to add in the config file. That is 26,000, 2,62,000 something for each memory process. Okay. For not each, for a single process, you need to map the maximum memory count is 2 lakh. I mean 2 lakh.
So your screen is blurred.
Yes.
And if you give us the video, we're gonna find it difficult to arrange the same thing.
I couldn't zoom this thing because I am in the not editor.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
You said there is a slash that we need to remove. Where is that slash?
I mean not slash, the hash.
Okay. Okay.
And the fs.file file means the file size. Maximum file size is 655. That's something files for a single process. 560. 653. Andrew, that's for executing. We make the Docker compose as executable. Okay, that's why we add and we change the permission to executing this file.
So it means it start running by itself.
Yes. For the next time, we didn't. For example, if we didn't executable, next time we need to mention the old path instead of.
Oh, okay.
If we executable, then we can directly use in Docker Compose. If we didn't, then we need to provide all the path for the next time.
Thank you.
Yep. And 6553. 6553.
The file max is the open files, right?
That's the kernel files of the Linux system.
Okay.
Now it's fine. Just exit WQ. We need to verify that. I mean, these things happen using this command. Yep, it's fine. Okay. That's why it's displayed here. And next thing is we need to copy the entire command configuration. This is the YAML configuration for the both services. Okay. So I quickly explain things. This is a version, the version number is 3. And here we are using two services, okay. One service is SonarQube and the next service is DB. Okay, we mentioned two services. And under the SonarQube services, we need to mention the SonarQube image, where the image of SonarQube. So image is SonarQube community. So it will put the SonarQube community image. And under the restart, okay, we mentioned the restart because sometimes the container will stop in some issues. So we mentioned here unless stop, because if it stopped, it will automatically restart. Okay, then depends on. Depends on means here we mention the database. Okay, database, there is a database and that database depends on the SonarQube. That's why we mentioned here under the depends on. So under the depends on, we mentioned the database. So the container will know there is a database and it depends on the SonarQube. And the environment here is SonarQube JDBC URL and the things, and the JDBC username is Sonar. All things, that's authentication with the SonarQube database. The JDBC means Java database connectivity, okay? Because the Java, under the Java connectivity is Postgres database we are using here for the database. So they will communicating through this thing. I mean the Java database connecting, and the URL is this is URL, and the database, the port number is for the database 5432. And yep, we mentioned the volume for the database. So it will create a SonarQube data, of SonarQube data, some small size storage for our application and the database. And coming to the ports, we open the port for 9000 for the same. We accessing the user interface of our SonarQube. Then the next service, same as in the SonarQube. Okay, the next service is database. The image is it's pull the image from the database progress solve. Same for the restart unless stop. And the environment is Postgres username password. You need to mention the database username and password. That is under the environment. So the Postgres username is Sonar and the password is Sonar. And again, we need to add the volume for the database. These volumes are called the persistent volume. Okay, for example, our database is I mean, in our database, it's so many data, right? So if the container is stopped or failed, our data is stored in the persistent storage. That's why we create a special storage for these types of application and the database. So it will create a database, database storage path, and our data is there. If the container is down or dead, no problem with that. Got it. And we mentioned the tags for the volumes. These are the things. Postgres data. Anyone have a doubt? Fine. Okay, then I'm exiting with you. This is nano. So Control-X, Y. Okay. Now we are good to go to deploy our compose file using Docker. Hello? Hello?
Yeah, go ahead. I'll ask you when you stop, you are ready.
Sorry?
I wanted to ask a question on
Okay.
what you are doing right now.
can you
I'm
loud?
a bit confused.
Can you? Yeah,
Can you hear me?
your
I'm a
voice is
bit
not clear.
confused because my laptop, I changed my laptop because the battery was going out. I'm
Huh?
saying that I got a bit confused.
Huh?
You installed SonarQube already, you
Huh?
demonstrate, and then you brought it here to another website. I'm
Your
a
voice
bit
is breaking.
confused, lost.
Yeah, Andy. Hello? Can you
hear
text? Yeah, meantime, I am going to deploy the YAML file, okay? So the command is docker compose. That's the docker compose file. I mean the command, okay? And docker compose, we need to mention the file. The file name is docker compose .yaml. And how we upping, I mean, using docker compose, we are using a command like up for container upping, okay? And -d. Just hit enter. It will, in this case, we didn't run the images, okay? I mean, it will automatically fetch the image and automatically run the image. We didn't bother about anything. With a single command, it's all done. Yeah, it's done. You can see. And you can check Docker. With your Docker PS, you can see the containers are open. You can see we got the both containers, right? One is for the Postgres database and one is for our image, I mean Docker image. Got it. Yeah, this is the port for, this is a container port, okay? Container port for that database. And it will authenticate, I mean, to connect with our SonarQube, right? Yep. So we can quickly access the, I'm lost waiting, another service is on. I'm lost waiting. Yeah, I think you can go with the recording section. Is that right, Andy? I will share it. Yeah, I mean the times is up. Yeah, okay, fine. So yeah, our in a single Docker camel app, we will create the images. And I mean, we pull out the image, then we run the image. Okay, just to go to the. This is a previous thing. I mean, reload, remove the thing. Yeah, this is again starting the new SonarQube. Okay. Because we delete the old container and the image as well. Not the image, I mean the container. Yep. Default one is admin. Login. Provide the new password. Now you couldn't see the database issue. Before we are seeing the database is embedded, right? Now it's gone.
I have a question. In the Amplify, we have configured it as username and password sonar. But here you have entered it as an admin, right?
No, that's for the database, not the SonarQube interface. This is SonarQube. Yeah, that's for the container process. There is a two container and that two container needs to talk with each one using the username and password. That's for Sonar and Sonar, like that.
Okay.
For accessing the database. Yeah. Okay. So then we can do the same process like integrating with the Jenkins and do the thing. Now we have the database. Okay, this is the production level configuration of SonarQube. Yep, I think all are clear, right? Any doubt? Anyone? If there is no doubt, we can wind up, right?
Yeah, my question is this: like, what is the real purpose to combine a database to SonarQube?
Real?
What is the real purpose? Like, why do we have to combine a database with a SonarQube?
SonarQube is for code analyzing, right? So in real time, from Jenkins to SonarQube, there is a lot of codes are there, right? For checking the codes and to verify that each code have nothing, I mean, any code smell or anything like that. And we need to save, I mean, the SonarQube dashboard, okay, I mean, the database. So each codes are there in the SonarQube dashboard, I mean, sorry, database. So we need to store the code, each code. That's why we keep a database for SonarQube.
Okay, yeah, understand.
And there is so many lot of code queries and the rules, so many things are in the database as well.
Okay.
Is this the best practice, sir,
Sorry,
of the installation in container?
your voice is low.
My voice is low.
Again, it's low.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello?
Yeah. Now it's clear.
Yeah, I'm saying that is this the best practice to do installation in containers? And if
Yes.
that is the best practice, containers doesn't last long. So how do we keep them and then the application can keep running if containers are not reliable?
Yeah, that's why we are keeping the container image and push the image to our Docker Hub. For example, if the application or anything have any issues, we can directly pull up the image from the Docker Hub, or else, for example, our application in the production environment application, the container and the container is down or etc. or any state. We are going to dig the container using the Docker execution. Then we can see the logs of the container. What are the issues causing for the down the container, and we need to troubleshoot the issue. Got it.
Okay.
Any doubt? Then we can wind up, right? I think time is up. Everything is good. We can wind up.
One
Yeah.
request is there. Last session recording also we didn't discuss.
Yeah, I will share both because I'm pushed to the person who upload the URL. I will talk again and I will share soon.
Yeah, please try to upload after this.
Yes. Okay, then we can wind up, right?
Yes.